Lovie Tribe, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 4 of 10 days of Merry Missmas, 10 days of card making, homemade Christmas card making with 10 different mediums. Today's medium is going to be stamping. If you're just joining me for the first time today, the first day we did watercolor, the second day our medium was doilies, our third day was washi, and like I just said, our fourth day here is going to be stamping. So without further ado, we're going to make this adorable little card I have sitting before you with a twist. I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it, so I will explain as we go. So for the basis of our card, I am using a 7 by 10 mixed media paper, just so that if I want to do anything to it, I can, and it'll take inks and anything I want to do. I always seem to use mixed media paper when I make my homemade cards because it'll stand up to anything I want to do, and it is thicker than regular cardstock, so it makes for a very nice card. So I just want to fold this in half, get it lined up. Sometimes I struggle with this on camera because my camera is literally sitting right here, so sometimes it's really hard to see. I think I've said that in every single video. But anyways, so I wanted to use that. That's 7 by 10. And then I already did some things for us because this is 10 days of card making, and some of these steps we're just going to keep repeating, and I love layers. So I'm going to constantly be layering. So like I said, this is our 7 by 10 card mixed media paper we fold in half. This is the snowflake paper that we're going to be putting on top. And as you can see, it's like 1/4 of an inch. I keep saying this also in all of my other videos. I don't really measure. I just kind of make this paper smaller. And literally what I do is I have a 12 by 12 of this, which again, this didn't come out of a paper pack. I literally went to Hobby Lobby and I picked a whole bunch of paper that I wanted to use for my 10 days of Merry Missmas. So this is just an individual piece of paper that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I lay down my 12 by 12. I put this down on top of it. I take my pencil and I mark. I just mark it. I turn it over and I go, okay, well, I want it to be that size here, and I mark it, and then I go over here and I mark it this way, and then I literally put it in the cutting machine and I cut up and over. And that is literally how I size my papers. So I know that doesn't maybe help those who want to know exact measurements. I don't measure. Maybe for day 5, you'll luck out and I will measure for you guys. But this is our base paper. And then I have a whole little baggie. I think I have it close by. Let me grab it real quick. But I have this like little baggie full of scraps. It's just like full of all kinds of scrap. Oh, that's black on black. You're probably not gonna be able to see it. But from all of my projects, I just have scraps of paper. They're everywhere. They're just out of all different kinds of kits and all kinds of stuff. They're just scrap paper. So out of my scrap paper, what I did was I have these. So I cut them. So what I did, again, I'm measuring. It's just measuring. I wanted them to be the same thickness, but of course it's going to be shorter. So I duct-tailed this one. So it'll go up here. And then this one is going to look like it's going off the card. So what I'll do is I'll kind of stick this one like this, and then this one will kind of just barely go over it. So we get like a present type deal, if you will. And guys, these are literally scraps. I can't tell you what album or anything they came from. So if you have scraps, all you need is 2 small scrap papers. Seriously, because you're just going to make one like a ducktail and one like this. That's it. Okay, guys, and then the next thing that you're going to be using today as our medium, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, is this has made an appearance in all 4 of my videos. This was gifted to me, as I said. I'm so thankful for this, but see this stamp of the little mittens? That is the stamp that we're going to be using today. And so off camera, guys, you've seen me stamp a million times, but off camera, I stamped a whole bunch of these. And I took the time by using gel pens because I love the glitter. Do you guys see the sparkle? See how sparkly that is? Which you can achieve the same thing with, like if you colored this in with marker and then you took stickles, like icicles here, and you put icicles over this, you could achieve that same look, that sparkly look, but it just saves me a step. So I just use sparkly gel pens. So I stamped a whole bunch of these. Today we're going to be doing red instead of green because I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Let me show you. But in this card, there was a lot of green in this scrap paper, hardly any red. So I focused on the green here, but on this scrap paper, which is the same exact paper, same exact thing, there was a lot more red trees. So I'm like, you know what? I think we're going to do something. It's going to be the exact same thing, but I think I'm going to focus more on the red. So I colored 2 of them with the red sparkly gel pen. I'm going to fussy cut them out. And again, that was this stamp here. And then if you're just tuning in, I just wanted to show you what kind of ink I use. I use the Stampability's acid-free ink pad, and it's black and it's very pigmented. I recommend using a very pigmented ink when you do any of your stamping because you know for sure you're going to get a nice clean stamp. And if you stamp it and it doesn't look as dark as you want, you literally can take a fine tipped marker and just go over your stamp. But if you use a really good ink, you shouldn't have to do that. So I just wanted to put all that out here because this is the card we're making. So these are literally the things that you're going to need. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fussy cut out my little mittens, which I'm going to do off camera. And also off camera, I am going to pop foam tape on the back of our cardstock and the back of these as well, because we're going to pop them up and lift them up. One thing I did not do with this card, and that afterwards I was like, I don't know which way I like better, because usually I ink everything because I think it brings definition, and I didn't do to this card because I wanted it very clean. But I'm not sure I like it. Like, I didn't ink the edges, and to me they look very raw. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my dabber and I'm going to ink the edges of all of this and this part, and then put foam tape on it after I fussy cut this out. And then we can see side by side which one we like better. Do we like it clean or do we like it like inked, which is distressed or aged? So I'm going to do that to this card. So we're going to see the difference. So I'm going to do this stuff off of camera because this stuff is very boring. Who wants to watch me cut out mittens and put foam tape on the back of paper? So as soon as I do that, I'll be right back and we will finish up this card. Okay guys, so I have it all done and inked. So we're just going to add it. Again, I'm going to lift this up just a little bit just to make sure I kind of get it as even, as centered as I want it. Again, I think I've said this also in every single one of these videos. It does not have to be perfect. These are homemade cards. That's kind of the point. All that matters is that you're making these for your loved ones with love and care. Made with lots of love. There we go. Okay, so we have that popped up on our foam tape, and now we have this popped up on our foam tape as well. So I'm just going to bring this down to about here, about there, make sure it's straight. Okay, and then we're going to put this one on, and again, make sure it's straight. There we go. I think I did it. It's a little hard, like I said, to see with the camera on. Yeah, looks good. Okay, I think it looks straight. No, actually, now that I lifted it up, I think it needs to go over just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, now it looks better. So real quick, I inked all of this. This part, and this part. I don't know if you can tell a difference or not. But see how the ink just kind of, the distressing kind of just makes it pop off the page or look finish. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just me. Maybe tell me down in the comments what you think. Do you like it distressed with distressing inks, or do you like it clean like that? Like, do you see a difference? I see a big difference, but that might just be me. I don't know, it looks more finished inked than like this, but that's just my personal opinion. So we'll just move on. You tell me down in the comments what you think, what really makes you, which one you like better. So now we're gonna move on to the mittens. So here's our 2 little mittens. And then I have this big jar, let me grab it right here, you guys can probably hear it, of buttons that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. We're just, woo, they're spilling out on us. We're just gonna pick a decent size red one, which I think that, I don't know guys, does that look red or does that look pink? For whatever reason, to me, that looks pink. They just look pink to me. But I guess they are red. I'm not sure. Is there any other color in here that might work? If not, we're gonna go for it. I don't think I like the white. No, white on white is not gonna work. So we're just gonna use it. Because it says red, green, yellow, blue. It's supposed to be like your standard everyday colors. So it says red. Kind of looks pink to me, but we're just gonna go for it. See, that's a very light pink. I guess. I don't know. It worked. We're gonna go for it. Okay, so we need a button. And then what I did next is I have these little stickers, which I've had forever. And what I did is I took the bows off, because they are sticky, of the candy canes. And then I put them right under the cuff of your mitten. Just like that. Just to add a little something something. It's all about layers. Every layer you put on just makes it so much more, in my personal opinion. And to me, these were perfect. They're the perfect size. They have a little gemmy right in the middle. The bow is sparkly. I think it just adds a little something to our mitten. So I just love how that looks. So we got that. And then the next little thing that I was struggling with was for this particular card, I used baker's twine, but baker's twine that kind of like had a design in it. But the baker's twine that I have, I don't know. To me, this kind of looks pink. It's supposed to be red, but it kind of looks pink. So I wasn't sure I wanted to use that or if I should just use this dark red baker's twine, but I don't like it with the button. Because then I think this makes the button look really pink. So I think we're just going to stick with this baker's twine. So what I did was I actually thread this through the button, which I'm going to have to pull off camera here for 1 second so that I can kind of wet it like you're threading a needle. And I just stuck it through the buttonhole like this. And then I'm going to, wait a minute, wrong way. Thread it through this way, like this. You're just, you know, it went right through for, okay, there we go. Like this, and then we're gonna thread it back through the other way so that we can tie it in a bow. Whoop, might have to wet that again. Okay, sorry guys, me and my big hands. Okay. So we're going to thread it through this way, just like so. We're going to pull it through, if I can grab it. Come on. There we go. We're going to pull it through, make it even. See how it came through both holes? And then we're going to tie that, whoop, we're going to tie that into a bow. Just like this. Okay. And then of course that bow is way too big. So we're going to pull it in and make it smaller. Smaller and dainty. Just like so. And then I use my scissors because my fingers are big. I just use my scissors to make sure that it's a nice, like that needs to be pulled out just a little bit. There we go. A nice bow, and then I hold it and pull. so it's nice and tight. I know it's not going to come undone. There we go. So now I have a little bow on top of my button. So now it's a button bow. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hot glue that right here. And then I will trim these up because then I'll know about what length I want them. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun. I'm going to put it right on our button. Make sure you get your bow. Okay, I want it about right there. Make sure it's straight and then press. Okay. And then of course there's glue gun strings everywhere. Everywhere, glue gun strings. Okay. So just to bring my bow back to its original position here. There we go. Sorry about the glue gun string, guys. Okay, so there we go. Now, of course, our string for our gloves is way too long. So, of course, I want them to have like a little bit of a gap. So that looks about right. And then I will cut them about right here. Okay, and then I will attach the mittens, and when you attach the mittens, just make sure that you attach the mittens with the thumbs on the inside because your thumbs are always on the inside. Yeah, the first time I did it, I put the thumbs on the outside like this, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. So don't be a dork like me and make sure you put your thumbs on the right side. So I'm just going to take our mittens, I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue right at the tip. And then I'm going to put it on the end of our little baker's twine. Just like that. Make sure it gets adhered. Here we go. And then we're going to do the next one. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to, place them where we would like them. Of course, you don't have to. Like, you could have cut these at different lengths and not attach them to the card at all, and you can just let them dangle. Like, you could have a totally, like, dangly card. If I would have done that, though, I would have made my string a lot shorter. I would have made them dangle at different lengths, like this. Like, you guys can let them totally dangle. You can have dangly mittens. The only thing I didn't like about that was that if they accidentally got turned over, it's going to look really ugly in the back. So that's why I decided to, like, adhere them to the actual card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make, like, them, you know, just make them have, like, cute little pops. And then I'm just going to bring them up and kind of just put them at different angles, at different little spots. I like the little cord they're on kind of protruding in different places, and I'm just going to put them on the card. I'm like detaching them, if you will, so I know they're not going to flip over and show the ugly side of the stamp. There we go. Okay, and then we're just going to clean up all of the little hot glue hairs that love to so we're just cleaning up the little hot glue hairs all throughout the card here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. I like how that looks. I like how the cord's like all different, and I don't know, it just looks very natural to me. So now we have our little mittens attached. Now our sentiment here, I cut this out of another piece of cardstock paper. As you probably can see, that is not a stamp. That was actually out of a cardstock piece of paper. I don't even think I have it here with me anymore. But it was something like this. It was just like a piece of cardstock paper that had sentiments and sayings. And I just found that little season's greeting and I cut it out and then I popped it up on foam tape and put it in the middle. But I am making this particular card for my grandmother and my grandfather. And then this is the funny part. So as a child, my grandmother's favorite saying to me when I was being a snot or your typical 5-6-year-old and didn't want to do what she wanted me to do or whatever the case may be, she would always go, Missy, stop being a fart in a mitten. I have no idea what that means. None. I don't know if that's something she just came up with so that she wasn't cussing at me or whatever. I have no idea. But my grandmother, that is her saying for everything. Quit being a fart in a mitten. Or if she wanted me to take a bath or something like that and I didn't want to do it, she'd be like, Missy, don't be a fart in a mitten. Just get in the tub. So that is something that my grandmother said to me very, very often. And when I did the mittens, I was like, oh my gosh, this would be so stinking cute to give to my grandparents as a funny joke for their Christmas cards. So in my own handwriting, I wrote, don't be a fart in a mitten for Christmas. It maybe sounds really stupid and dumb to you guys, but I think my grandparents will just love this because it's very personalized for them. And I really think it'll give them a nice little laugh. At least I'm hoping that's what it'll do because this is my childhood. This is what my grandmother said to me like all the time. And in growing up as a child, I didn't think that that was weird or anything. As an adult, you're going, what the heck is a fart in a mitten? How do you even get a fart in a mitten? You know, like think things as a kid you just accept, and as an adult you're like, oh my, I don't even know what the heck that means. But I think they will love it. So with the little mittens, I just thought this would be an awesome little sentimental kind of card. And that's what homemade cards for me are all about. This is the reason why I make homemade cards, because they're just adorable. You can make them so personal and for the person that you're sending them to that you have in mind. And I don't know. I just really think that my grandfather and her will just get a kick out of that. And if I can give them a little laugh for Christmas, that would just bless my heart. So that's why I'm doing it. So my little sentiment is going to go right there. Don't be a fart in a mitten for Christmas. Don't think I'm weird, guys. Really and truly. This is something that my grandmother said to me all the time. So of course we're going to pop that up on a little piece of foam tape, which I'm going to try to do on camera and not take forever. This is one of the reasons I don't do the foam tape on camera, because oh my god, sometimes the backing comes off really, really quick. And then sometimes, oh man, it takes me forever to get the backing off of this foam tape, which it looks like this one's going to be a fart in a mitten and not let me do it. Okay, I did it. Okay, so we're going to pop this up on some foam tape to give it a little bit of height. And I did distress it, which you guys just saw. And we're going to just put it right as centered as I can. Yeah, there we go. And press it down. And then the last two little steps I'm going to do just to bring, again, another layer, which the light may be blinding you and you may not be able to see it. But I took a green gel pen, the same gel pen color that I used to color the mittens, and I ran it along the edge. Again, just to bring in another layer. So I'm going to do that with this card as well. Just along the edges, and I'm taking them to each edge so that they crisscross at the bottom. And this time I'm doing red because my mittens were colored in the red gel pen. Again, guys, this doesn't have to be perfect. This, again, it's a homemade card. It does not have to be perfect. All that matters is the sentiment. And this will kind of frame out your card. And again, like I said, it's just another layer. For me, it's all about layering. Each layer you put on there just brings another depth. So, and like I can't draw a straight line. So guys, it's like all wobbly all over the place, but you know, it does it. I'll show it to you. My light kind of deflects the gel pen, I think because they're sparkly. Okay. And then the very last layer that we're going to do is we're going to highlight just a couple snowflakes with sequins. We're just going to highlight a couple snowflakes with sequins. And for that, I'm using a little, well, you know, I'm going to do it with the gel instead of the hot glue, because the hot glue will probably dry before I can get the sequins picked up and put in the middle of the snowflake. So I'm just going to pick a couple snowflakes, which I think I have 4 sequins laid out, and I'm just going to pop them in the middle, which that'll just give this a little pop of color. The sequins will just give it one more little layer. So I think this one, and I think this one. Okay, just like that. I will pick the sequins up. I have like this silvery color because I think silver is great for Christmas and snowflakes. I mean, silver? Yes. So I'm just going to pop it right on top of the snowflake. Just like so. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have a couple snowflakes highlighted. I think it looks great. So you guys tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like, now that they're finished, do you like the distressing? Do you think it makes it look more defined, or do you like the really clean look? Tell me down in the comments which one you like best. But that's it for me, guys. This is our 4th day of 10 days of Merry Missmas of homemade Christmas card making. I really love this one, and I can't wait to send this out to my grandparents and see what they think of their "don't be a fart in a mitten for Christmas" card. I had a lot of fun making this one. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed all 4 days so far. Make sure you stay tuned for day number 5. I'm going to let day number 5 be a surprise. Instead of telling you what medium we're going to use, you'll just have to tune in tomorrow to find out. I think this card is going to be a blast to make. But please drop down into my Dropbox and check out my links. I have a link to Instagram where every single day the card that I make, which will be this green one, I do a giveaway, and the giveaway is done on Instagram. So if you'd like to have a chance to win the green mitten card, please follow me over on Instagram, and you can find out the details on how to enter to win this card. My Patreon is linked down below, and so is my Facebook group. We have a lovely Facebook group full of crafting friends, and you can post all of your crafty goodness there. So please don't check out my social media links, and find me in other places. So that's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Until tomorrow, Merry Missmas. Take care of you. Always do what you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.